Parents, beware. Monsters are among us.
The days of Roblox being a kid's game is long gone.
Investigators got a hold of what they believed was the predator's username on Roblox.
Men were arrested for allegedly preying on children they met through the Roblox video game.
We're your family. We're not going anywhere. We'll always be here for you no matter what. Please come home.
Roblox is more than just a game. It's a platform where users can express themselves by creating games of their own. And it's a huge hit among kids looking to unleash their creativity. On average, 200,000 players log on to Roblox every single month. And most of them are very young, making Roblox a hub for some pretty horrible people. We've talked about the dangers of Roblox before, but this time we're diving even deeper into the game's dark side. Alright, so before we begin, I just want to say thank you guys, because it's absolutely a dream come true that I can make videos for a living for you guys, so thank you for being here. So in this Roblox iceberg, we go over 10 topics, and each topic just gets darker and darker. It's time to explore the disturbing world of Roblox. Roblox's biggest hater. Back in the early 2000s, Roblox started like a lot of other game studios. Two friends, Eric Castle and David Baszucki, wanted to create a game that could teach children how to make their own game. So they recruited their friends to help create Roblox with them. In 2006, Roblox was launched, but it wasn't until the mid-2010s that it became the giant that it is today. Like any popular video game, there are bound to be haters. For Roblox, one of its players hated the game so much that they became infamous in the Roblox community. The player, Julius Coles V2, went on to become Roblox's most notorious hater. Julius first joined the game in 2013, and from the very start, his actions turned the Roblox community against him. At the time, Julius was copying the designs of popular Roblox games and releasing them as if he created them himself. As a result, Julius's account got banned, which only added to his anger, and he made his anger clear to everyone.
And all the users who play Roblox, I hope you get a disease or just cancer.
Julius eventually started a YouTube channel where most of his content featured him expressing his hate for Roblox. He would call out players, developers, and Roblox YouTubers. Among the YouTubers he called out was Albert Stuff, who's known today by his channel Flamingo.
Albert Stuff. He was a big mother effer.
Early on, a lot of Roblox players believed that Julius was producing hateful content to gain attention, but one day he crossed the line. Julius uploaded videos insulting Roblox's co-founder, Eric Castle.
Hello, my name is Eric Castle, and I have cancer. As I'm making this video now, I would like to say, I hope all the kids on Roblox get cancer, and I hope they don't.
And on February 11th, 2013, Eric passed away at just 45 years old. He lost his fight with cancer. The insulting videos that Julius uploaded outraged Roblox players. But in 2017, Julius uploaded an apology video and has since moved on from his hateful content.
I apologize to the Roblox admins and moderators, to the innocent lives and people on Roblox.
To this day, Julius is still active on YouTube and has over 55,000 subscribers. Judging from the comments of his recent videos, Julius has regained support from a lot of his followers, and he and Albert Stuff seem to be on good terms now. In this next chapter, we focus on a problem that's plaguing the game itself. Bots are taking over Roblox. Bots are a huge issue in most big multiplayer games. Bots are accounts that are not controlled by people, but controlled by AI to perform various actions. While some games like Counter-Strike use official bots to make gameplay fun for beginners, bots created by players are far more concerning. These player-made bots run on programming scripts that automate their tasks without having to rely on a human to issue commands. But in Roblox, the bot epidemic is one of the worst in all of gaming. Spam bots are the most common types of bot in any Roblox game. These bots join games and leave as many messages as they can in the chat. But these accounts aren't just annoying. Their messages actually include links to shady websites. But spam bots aren't the only problem. Some Roblox developers started using bots to trick the server into thinking their game has more player activity than it actually does.
They fill up random terrible games with thousands of those accounts to get them to the front page.
It wasn't long before other Roblox developers got upset because Roblox's front page was flooded with botted games. This caused honest developers to lose money. To deal with the bot problem, Roblox added CAPTCHA verification to the game. It helped reduce the number of bots, but there was a new problem. Some players found the CAPTCHA to be buggy, preventing them from logging in at all. While the overwhelming number of bots on Roblox is an issue, the bigger threat lies in how complex some of these bots are. Some Roblox YouTubers noticed that bots were stalking them. The bots were following the YouTubers no matter what game they joined.
See, I'm actually in a game right now, and there is a bot that has joined my game. Anytime any YouTuber goes on a Roblox game, we are invaded by these bots.
Bots in Roblox can cause problems for anyone, but with so many Roblox players being children, some players use bots to take advantage of these vulnerable kids. Scam bots do everything they can to exploit young players for profit. Some spam bots go as far as using the current war to guilt young players into donating money.
It is disgusting that these people are now using a war which has already caused the deaths of thousands of people just to fill their pockets.
A lot of young people go on Roblox to have fun, but with so many bots, it's hard to enjoy Roblox like they used to. And to add on to this issue, there are Roblox developers who even steal games from other developers. The stolen games. Before we talk about Roblox's criminal developers, I want to thank Enlisted for sponsoring this video. Enlisted is a new kind of first-person shooter, one that combines PvP and PvE. You take control of a squad of AI soldiers and fight in massive battles with other players. Enlisted feels like different games in one because it's a new experience every time you play. Different equipment, vehicles, and the locations are accurate to their historical time frame. Enlisted has a very short TTK, or time to kill, because it focuses on realism. There are over 100 weapons, tanks, and aircrafts, and different soldier classes with unique skills that can be upgraded. And the graphics and sound effects are super immersive. So personally for me, the game really shines because of its squad mechanics. There are plenty of games that let you control a team, but Enlisted lets you play as an individual member of your squad and you can swap between members. Click my link in the description to play it now for free on PC, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5 or the previous generation. When you register using my link, you get a free bonus pack with multiple weapons, soldiers, and premium account. A lot of Roblox players want to create their own games because they want to make money. Some of the most popular Roblox games earn their creators thousands of Robux, which can be exchanged for real money. But in an effort to make more money, some developers go down a dark path. They steal the hard work of others and claim it as their own. One example of this is a user who goes by the name Jared Valdez. Jared joined Roblox back in 2008. To date, Jared's account has been terminated a total of 8 times. But every time he was banned, he'd come back with a new account. Early on, Jared bought a lifetime Roblox subscription with his mom's credit card without her permission. This premium Roblox subscription gives its users various benefits, including daily Robux. Jared's mom contacted her bank to cancel the purchase, which led to his first Roblox account getting banned. But from that point on, Jared would repeatedly get banned for plagiarism. He copied over 10 of the most popular Roblox games. It's estimated that Jared earned over 7,200,000 Robux by plagiarizing. Using the exchange rate of Robux at the time, Jared's plagiarism resulted in about $18,000 US being stolen from developers. But Jared's plagiarism didn't stop at Roblox games. In December 2012, he launched Faceblocks, his own social media platform, which copied both Facebook and Roblox. At its peak, Faceblocks had over 1,800 users. Jared almost got sued by Roblox, but avoided a lawsuit by taking his site down in 2014. Just like Julius Coles from the first chapter, Jared also uploaded an apology video on YouTube. In the video, he gave his side of the story, detailing how he was banned each time.
I would like to take a moment to say sorry to the whole Roblox community and team for all the messed up things that I did on Roblox.
The Roblox community had mixed feelings about Jared's apology. Some people understood that he was a kid and just accepted his apology, but others felt that it was still unfair that he had profited off the hard work of others. Jared's story serves as a reminder that moderating the Roblox community can be difficult, but at the very least, Roblox can moderate their staff, right? As our next chapter shows, Roblox itself doesn't always play by their own rules. Roblox broke its own terms of service. Roblox and TikTok are two very different platforms, but they have one thing in common. The majority of people who use these platforms are very young. On TikTok, the official Roblox TikTok account has nearly 13 million followers. The account shares videos of popular Roblox content creators with views in the millions. With such a large following, you'd think that Roblox would be mindful when creating TikTok content. And they're mindful most of the time, but that isn't always the case. This video was posted on Roblox's TikTok and it went against Roblox's own terms of service. It's also one of the most viewed videos on the account.
Are you a keyboard? Because you're my type. Are you a bank loan?
No.
You have my interest.
¿Es de China?
was good, baby. You like wine, you get better over time. I'm trying to wine.
Players were quick to point out Roblox's hypocrisy, because in the game, players can get banned for getting involved with someone romantically like they show in the video. That same video also showed a player asking for the content creator's email address. Sharing personal information on Roblox is another violation of the terms of service, and the community was upset because it encourages kids to act in this inappropriate way on Roblox.
If they see Roblox posting somebody doing that stuff, they're going to believe they can do it too.
But this wasn't the only example. Earlier, Roblox posted another video on TikTok that promoted romantic relationships. The creator in this video claimed that she got married on Roblox. This TikTok sent the message that this behavior is allowed on Roblox when it actually isn't. YouTuber Green Lego Cats 123 covered other instances of the Roblox TikTok account promoting other inappropriate content.
A year or two ago, the Roblox account left a comment saying they loved it when someone met up with their Roblox boyfriend in real life. Apparently, Roblox loves it when online daters meet up in real life.
Roblox might be making the situation even worse. In May 2023, David Baszucki, the game's founder and CEO, made this statement on Roblox's website. But in a distant future, Roblox could envision different types of experiences, like virtual dating for older age groups. But virtual dating on Roblox has already been a massive problem for a very long time.
It's kind of been like a complaint that a lot of people have had for over a decade now.
When a company isn't following its own terms of service, it sets a bad example for the rest of the community, and some players go beyond breaking the guidelines. Some even break the law. The dangerous Roblox extension. Picture this, you're a young Roblox player looking to join the game of your favorite Roblox content creator, but the game has thousands of players inside it, and you're not sure which server they're on. This is where Google Chrome extensions like Search Blocks come in. Search Blocks lets users find specific players in the servers they're on. Over 200,000 users installed the extension. While there were some concerns that players were using Search Blocks to stalk other players, it was a pretty safe extension, until 2022, when one update changed everything. Players started to report their items and Robux were vanishing from their account.
Even the YouTuber My Username's This tweeted and said he got a bunch of Robux stolen from his account. This one user on Discord got 985,000 Robux stolen. That's like $10,000.
People soon realized that SearchBlock had hacked their account. But the scary thing about this hack was that you had no idea if your Robux was being stolen. Players kept on playing as SearchBlock stole from their accounts right under their noses. So how did this happen? SearchBlocks didn't steal user data like passwords. Instead, the update in November added a malicious script into its code that could make purchases using the victim's account. The code also traded its victim's items to an account named Unstoppable Lucent. This account was used to store all the stolen items before being transferred to another account named CC Font. This user became the 13th richest user in Roblox because of the hack. Both accounts were eventually banned and Roblox refunded the victims. Digging deeper, the community discovered that search blocks had actually been around since August 2020, which means that search blocks gained 200,000 users over 2 years before updating the extension to add the malicious code. And this is just one Roblox extension. There could be more that are hacking your account. Alex Opp, the developer of Rogold, which is another popular Roblox extension, revealed that he was contacted by a Discord user who wanted to pay him $5,000 to get Rogold's source code. Alex refused, and the Discord user admitted that he planned on hacking other Roblox accounts with it, then offered Alex $10,000. Thankfully, Alex didn't take the bribe, but there's always the chance that other Roblox extension developers might take these kinds of offers. And just like search blocks, we might not know if a future update will include a malicious script until it's too late. Some people are willing to commit crimes in a kid's video game for money, but money isn't the only motivation. Some users on Roblox make an effort to hurt others for their own twisted entertainment. The most sickening games on Roblox. A lot of Roblox developers try to stand out by creating unique games. Others stand out by creating experiences based on real-life events. One of the most popular examples of this is D-Day, a Roblox game that lets players experience the Normandy landings during World War II. But some recreations take things much further. There are games in Roblox that let users relive certain horrific incidents in history. In 2021, Roblox started cracking down on games that reenacted shootings. Some of these recreations were based on real-life incidents and included realistic screaming, blood, and gore, and these recreations aren't hard to find. The Twitter user named Daniel Kelly discovered that when he searched for Christchurch on Roblox, he found multiple games that let users play through the event as the attacker, and this trend isn't new. The Roblox community has been exposed for recreations of horrific events for more than a decade. Some of the earliest Roblox games that started this trend were recreations of 9/11. Roblox is a game that allows players to express themselves creatively by letting them make just about anything, but inappropriate content like this doesn't have a place on Roblox. On the App Store, where Roblox is rated 12+, recreations like this go against Apple's guidelines. Roblox eventually expanded its community guidelines to prohibit violent content. But as you'll see in our next chapter, it isn't just recreations like this that pose a danger to children. Even the most popular games on Roblox can cause irreversible harm. The notorious hack. Roblox is a super popular game, and to paint a picture of just how big Roblox is, we can take a look at Steam, which is the most popular platform for PC games. Steam has a monthly user base of 130 million. Roblox has nearly double that, with more than 200 million users. With so many users on one platform, the most popular games on Roblox are comparable to some of the biggest online games in the world. One example of this is Blox Fruits. As of May 28, 2023, Blox Fruits was the fourth most visited game in Roblox history, with more than 17 billion total visits. Part of the reason why Blox Fruits is so popular is because it's a role-playing game based on One Piece, the best-selling manga of all time. But on January 9th, 2023, one of the most notorious hacks in all of Roblox history took place within the game. But this hack wasn't targeting the players. Instead, it went after the game itself. On that day, players reported that the game's graphics were glitching out. The hacker also took over the game's global announcement system, promoting their Discord. But what really terrified Roblox players was that their screen was taken over with jump scare images and loud screaming. So how did this happen? A well-known hacker in the Roblox community, Gooby Dolan, was the one who hacked the game. But he didn't just do it for himself. He did it on behalf of Lucky Maxer, an actual Roblox admin who was fired for illegally modifying Roblox's script. In the announcement message, Lucky Maxer revealed his motive. He targeted Blox Fruits out of revenge. He blamed the developers of Blox Fruits for exposing his wrongdoings back when he was an admin, causing him to get fired in 2017. When players clicked on the Discord link, they were shown an image of a police evidence board trying to expose the Blox Fruits developers for what they've done. We don't know for sure if Lucky Maxer really hired him to hack Blox Fruits, but the damage was already done. Over 400,000 players were impacted by the hack. But on Roblox, players have seen things far worse than jump scares. One man exposed a kid to something inappropriate. The manipulating stranger. One of the best things about multiplayer games are the friendships that form online. Over the years, tons of players have made genuine connections on Roblox. For most players, the social experience on Roblox is worth coming back for, but all it takes is one horrible moment to ruin everything. On December 23rd, 2021, a mother contacted Scotland police after her son had a horrific experience with another player on Roblox. The player told her son to search for something on Google. The son, who was still in elementary school, followed the stranger's instructions and ended up opening an inappropriate website. Scotland police couldn't track down the stranger, so they posted about the dangers of Roblox on social media. Using the hashtag #KeepXmasSafe, the police warned parents to keep a closer eye on what their children were doing. Children are easily influenced, and with millions of kids on Roblox, it's scary to think about what else awaits them when they explore Roblox deeper.
These games are known on Roblox as condos.
A condo game or scented game. These are user-created, rated digital experiences.
Roblox also told the BBC that users would need to actively look for games to find them. However, we stumbled across inappropriate content even in legitimate games.
I found this random game. I just heard a bad song and a bad picture.
Bennett's dad Brian says he came across this real-life photo, so graphic we had to blur it.
Every player's experience on Roblox is different. You might make it through every game without seeing anything graphic, but not everyone is so lucky. Roblox regularly takes action against this kind of content, but content moderation is never perfect. Even with the best content filters put in place, Roblox can only stop these games after they've been uploaded. And by then, it might be too late for some children. But with Roblox being so popular, it's not just its games that have inappropriate content. The Roblox forums can be dangerous too. The disgusting forum post. Outside of the Roblox game itself, fans connect with each other through other websites. Today, most players use Discord, but before Discord became popular, the Roblox forums was the place to be. One player who used the forums was Jared Pogi123 Kaba. On October 1st, 2017, Jared Pogi made a post on the Roblox forums. This post contained a link to a webpage on the Wayback Machine, which is an online internet archive. But when users clicked on the link, they were shown a disturbing image that I can't explain on YouTube. The post stayed up for an entire 30 minutes before being taken down. Users who clicked the link were horrified by what they saw.
It was a link. I clicked it. I ended up regretting doing that. The link sent me to a website with so much top shit on it.
Jared was banned shortly after. While there was no definite proof, a lot of players believe that this incident led to the Roblox forums being shut down permanently in December of 2017. To this day, some players are still scarred by what they saw after clicking that link. But at least this incident didn't cross over into real life, unlike this next chapter, the Roblox Predator. In an earlier chapter, we explained how Roblox encourages its young audience to meet each other in real life. This is the message that Roblox promotes on platforms like TikTok.
This is your sign to meet your Roblox friends in real life.
But when it comes to the people you meet online, you can never actually know who they are in real life. This is a lesson that one young Roblox player learned in a horrifying way. This is Evan McConey. Evan has plenty of friends in real life and likes to play golf. But like a lot of young people his age, Evan also loves playing video games, especially Roblox. While playing Roblox, he met another player who went by the username Hunter Fox. The two players formed a close relationship and talked to each other outside of the game. One night, Evan's mom Heather caught him using his phone after 8:30 p.m., which is the family's agreed time to turn off all the lights. She found out about him having a conversation with Hunter Fox. Reading the messages, Evan's mom was shocked by what she saw. In one of these messages, Hunter Fox said that he found a new job in Utah and was coming to meet Evan. He even asked Evan for his location. Heather reported the situation to the police and surrendered her son's phone as evidence. But that didn't stop Evan and Hunter Fox from communicating. Evan used the family's VR headset to continue to talk to him without his parents knowing. On Twitter, Hunter Fox even posted publicly about his relationship with Evan. He called Evan his lamb, and he called himself the wolf. Almost a month after they met on Roblox, the worst case scenario happened. On December 26, 2022, Evan went missing and an Amber Alert was issued. Heather was devastated. She couldn't understand how after everything she'd done to protect her son, Evan had still been taken away from her.
I don't understand what this person had on my son, what grasp he had on him that convinced him to just walk away. Nobody's mad at you. We get it. We understand. Like, we're your family. We're not going anywhere. We'll always be here for you no matter what. Please come home.
But after nearly 48 hours of Evan going missing, there was a glimmer of hope. Police found Evan almost 800 miles away in Nebraska. They found him at a gas station after reports of a suspicious car in the area. And there in the car with Evan was Hunter Fox. He was finally arrested and charged with kidnapping and resisting arrest. Hunter Fox is still awaiting trial, but Evan has been reunited with his family. Evan's story is one that every parent fears. Even the most attentive parents can't protect their kids from all the potential dangers that are in the game. We know that Roblox is a platform where millions of players have fun every day, but safety isn't something that can be compromised. Video games like Roblox are a huge part of our lives, which is why we have to do everything we can to make sure that our in-game experiences are safe, because it's all fun in games until suddenly it isn't. Alright, I'll leave you with a pretty cheesy quote, but I bet you won't forget it. If you don't know the sender, they might be a pretender. Stay safe, friends. Visual Venture. Make sure you guys click my link in the description to play Enlisted, because it allows me to keep making these documentaries. When you register, you get a free bonus pack with multiple weapons, soldiers, and premium accounts. Wait, before you go, click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries, because the algorithm's gonna promote my channel more if you guys watch more than one video. Honestly, thank you guys for everything. I love you. Peace. They trashed hotel rooms, humiliated total strangers, and made people do terrible things. And no one could stop them because no one knew who they were. The group called themselves PrankNet, and this is how they became one of the most hated websites on the internet. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality, and to do that, we gotta keep growing. So 70% of you guys aren't subscribed. It would mean the world to me if you did, and I promise to give you more fire content. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. The dark side of laughter. The year was 2008, and pranknet.org was like a clubhouse for the internet's worst pranksters. The website looked like a regular chat room with about 200 people, except they weren't there to just discuss pranks. They wanted to do them. There was just one obstacle. They wanted to do pranks in real life, but PrankNet's members were scattered across the country staring at computer screens. How could they prank anyone in real life if they were behind their computers? Eventually, they figured it out, and their solution was diabolical. PrankNet used something simple, something almost everyone has, a phone. With a phone call, they could pretend to be anyone, and they could target people all over the world. But that wasn't enough for them. They decided to record the prank calls, and then post them online for laughs. They even made a creepy logo. It was a huge black bird with its wings wide open. Inside the bird was an angry man yelling on the phone. That was the reaction they were aiming for. At the bottom, it said Prank University. That was another name they sometimes went by. And by early 2009, they were ready to carry out these pranks. Their first victims. February 10th, 2009. It was a quiet night at the Best Western Hotel in Pennsylvania. Guests were asleep in their rooms. Everything seemed normal, but the hotel was about to be thrown into panic. It started when the phone rang in room 306. The guest picked up. The voice on the line sounded serious. He said his name was Jonathan Davis from the front desk, and he had bad news. A gas leak had spread through the building. It was so serious that other guests were passing out. Obviously, the guest in room 306 was worried, but the guy on the phone, who was allegedly calling from the front desk, had a solution. He told the guest to do 3 things to protect himself. Step 1, unplug everything. Step 2, wet some towels and press them against the door. That would prevent carbon monoxide from leaking into the room. The guest followed every step. He didn't ask many questions. He just wanted to survive. Then the caller gave the 3rd instruction, and it was extreme. He told the guest to break the glass window in the room. The window was huge, 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall. If you broke it, it would cause serious damage. The guest asked, "Are you serious?" The guy on the phone repeated the instruction. Smash that window to let more air into the room. Thinking his life was at risk, the guest grabbed a chair and shattered the glass. Cold air rushed in, but there was one last thing that needed to be done. The caller said the TV in the room could potentially explode because of the gas leak. It had to be destroyed immediately. The guest hit the TV, but it didn't break. So the caller told him to throw it out the window. The guest obeyed. The TV flew out of the window and crashed onto the sidewalk below. Luckily, it didn't fall on anyone walking below. The guest was shaking. He thought he just saved his own life, but it was all a lie. The man on the phone wasn't from the front desk. He was from PrankNet, and he just tricked the guest into causing thousands of dollars in damage. And it wasn't just room 306. Other rooms got the same call about a gas leak emergency. By the end of the night, multiple guests smashed windows and destroyed hotel property. Hotel workers couldn't believe what they were seeing. They called the police for help, but by then the damage was done. And the whole time, PrankNet was in their chat room listening and laughing. They recorded the calls and posted the audio online, but this was only the start of what they had planned, because the next prank was so shocking most people can't even talk about it. The apple cider incident. On July 20th, 2009, PrankNet targeted Homewood Suites in Kentucky. That night, one of PrankNet's members called a hotel guest. He pretended to be the manager, and what he said was terrifying. He claimed that the room's previous guest tested positive for hepatitis C. Because of that, the current guest could have gotten infected from staying in the same room, especially if the room wasn't properly cleaned by hotel staff. The whole call was building up to one request. The caller said a doctor was in the hotel, and the guest needed to bring a urine sample down to the front desk to be tested, just to make sure they were okay. All they had to do was pee into a glass and bring it down to the front desk. To avoid alarming other guests, the caller told them to use a code word, apple cider. That was the code. While the guest got ready, the prankster made another call. This time, they called the front desk clerk. This was the person the guest was supposed to bring the apple cider to. The prankster pretended to be a representative from an apple cider company. He told the clerk that a guest would be dropping off off a sample for a taste test, and he wanted the clerk to take a sip and provide feedback. Moments later, the guest showed up. They handed the hotel clerk a glass of warm liquid. She smiled and said thank you and took a sip. Her face changed instantly. She said, "That does not taste like cider. I'm not gonna take another sip. That's horrible." That's when the pranknet caller told her what she really drank. After that, let's just say all hell broke loose. As usual, pranknet shared the recording online. To them, pain was entertainment. As pranknet's reputation spread, people began to realize the truth. Anyone could be the next victim. All you had to do was pick up the phone. Not long after, pranknet hit more hotels. In Alabama, they tricked the guest into setting off a sprinkler inside his room. In Nebraska, they convinced someone to drive his truck into the hotel lobby. The total cost of repairs from these incidents exceeded $100,000. News outlets picked up the story. Hotels across the country were on alert. By June 2009, there were 8 cases across 4 states and counting. The police got involved. To them, these weren't pranks. They were serious crimes. And now the police were hunting the people behind pranknet. The pranks were going too far. Law enforcement was working hard to catch the people behind pranknet. In the meantime, pranknet found new ways to cause chaos, and they weren't just targeting hotels anymore. One night, they called a busy restaurant. They told the manager that a recent pork shipment tested positive for swine flu. The manager panicked and evacuated the restaurant. Pranknet chose that restaurant because it had a live webcam in the dining room, so they could watch the panic unfold in real time. Then there was the KFC incident. Pranknet convinced workers at a KFC in Manchester to do something humiliating. By the time they realized it was a prank, it was too late. The KFC kitchen was a wreck, and the story made national news. Pranknet also found a way to hijack business phone lines. They would call a phone company, pretend to be the business owner, and claim the phones weren't working. Then they would ask the phone company to forward the business's calls to a different number, and somehow it worked. One time, they hijacked the phone lines of a Hilton hotel in Tulsa. When people called the hotel, they were told there was a flu outbreak. Others were warned that armed men were inside holding hostages. As pranknet's twisted calls made headlines, people started to worry. If a stranger could cause this much chaos with just a call, were hotels and restaurants even safe anymore? The public was divided. Some blamed the pranksters. Others blamed the victims, saying people who give in to orders like this are just waiting for an excuse to do bad stuff that they wanted to do anyway. Meanwhile, police were doing everything they could to find the pranksters, but they still had no solid leads. There were rumors online, but nothing concrete. It was a problem no one could ignore, so someone else stepped in to stop pranknet once and for all. Catching the criminals. The Smoking Gun was a popular investigative website, and in mid-2019, the reporters at the site set a new goal: to expose the true identities of the people behind pranknet. But it wasn't going to be easy. For 7 weeks, the team followed clues across the internet. They studied chat room conversations and examined police reports. And they noticed something important. Pranknet used Skype to make their calls. That's why the police couldn't trace them like normal prank calls. Slowly, the pieces came together. They discovered the group had a leader. He called himself Dex. He named himself after the TV show Dexter, who was a serial killer. From his comments, Dex saw himself as a puppet master, a mastermind. But the mastermind was about to make a big mistake. The Smoking Gun reporters joined the pranknet chat room and offered to interview Dex. Dex couldn't resist. He agreed to an interview on Skype. He showed no guilt for his actions. On the contrary, he blamed the victims for what happened. He called them sheep with no brains of their own. He also said pranknet's real mission was to prove how stupid people were. When the reporters asked if he was scared of getting caught, his response was arrogant. His exact words were, "It's too difficult to find me. I'm a ghost on the internet." But while Dex ranted, the reporters already had a trap ready. They sent him a special link to view one of their articles. When Dex clicked it, it silently revealed his IP address and location. The address wasn't even in the US, it was in Windsor, Ontario, Canada. So 2 reporters got on a plane. They flew to Windsor, and when they arrived, they found the exact place where Dex lived. They staked out the building for days, watching everyone who came and went, and that's when they figured it out. Dex wasn't some criminal mastermind. His real name was Tariq Malik. He was 25 years old, he lived with his mom, he had no job and no friends. The Smoking Gun solved the mystery. In August 2009, they published a story. In it, they revealed Dex's name, picture, and address. By hacking Dex, they uncovered the identities of some other pranknet members. They revealed those names too. The expose went viral. News stations picked it up. Finally, reporters knocked on Malik's door, but Malik never came outside. He was hiding. Maybe if he thought he ignored them, they would just leave, but they didn't. The reporters stayed and interviewed the neighbors. Then something ironic happened. Dex, the guy who humiliated strangers for fun, called the cops on the reporters. He claimed there were suspicious persons outside his home, and he wanted them removed. When the reporters found out, they put that on the news too. Soon after, the FBI got involved. Several members of PrankNet were arrested. Some were found guilty of criminal mischief and sentenced to prison. Interestingly, Tariq Malik, also known as Dex, denied being part of PrankNet. US officials tried to extradite him from Canada. However, there was no proof that he was ever arrested or charged in the US. That should have been the end of PrankNet, but it wasn't, because even after their leader was exposed, some of PrankNet's most loyal members kept going, and the stuff they did next was even more bizarre. Crisis at Motel 6. It was November 2010 at a Motel 6 in South Carolina. Joseph Jones was in room 107. The caller claimed he worked for the motel. He told Jones that the previous guest hid cameras all over the room, and now those cameras were spying on him. The voice on the phone sounded urgent. Jones had to destroy the cameras immediately. The caller claimed the cameras were hidden behind the mirrors, so Jones grabbed a wrench and smashed every mirror in the room. But there was another emergency that Jones needed to take care of. Jones believed every word. He grabbed a wrench and started smashing through the wall, trying to rescue the little person on the other side. Guests in nearby rooms heard the noise, but when the banging got louder, they called the front desk. The manager found Jones standing in a wrecked room holding a wrench. She called 911. When the police showed up, Jones explained everything. The story sounded all too familiar. This had PrankNet written all over it. Later, investigations confirmed it. On that day, PrankNet members launched a series of attacks on Motel 6 locations across the country. Luckily, the motel manager didn't make Jones pay for the damage, but she still kicked him out immediately. Over the years, the pranks got fewer and fewer. Today, PrankNet is no longer active. Some members serve time in prison. Others moved on with their lives, but their disturbing prank calls are still online for anyone to hear. These pranksters were sitting behind their computer screens in the comfort of their own homes, creating real chaos. The truth is that what you do online can really change someone's life forever. So next time you're online, ask yourself, would you be proud to stand behind your username in real life? Visual Venture. Wait, before you go, there's another website that made people do even worse things than in this video, to the point that they even went to prison. Make sure you guys watch that video right here. Love you guys. Peace.
The Canadian Broadcast Standards Council says the mighty Morphin Power Rangers is too violent and it wants it off the air.
Her performance was so terrifying that MGM decided to cut entire scenes where they deemed her too scary for younger audiences.
This is the most insane idea for a television show I've ever heard. This is going to be canceled immediately.
A little controversy can make a show exciting. Too much can destroy it. Today, we'll explore TV shows and TV episodes banned for being too controversial. We'll uncover the dark stories behind them and why networks decided the public should never see them again. We'll start with the unsettling cases and save the worst for last. Guys, so it's almost at the end of the year and my goal is still the same, to increase the number of videos I put out without sacrificing quality. And to do that, we gotta keep growing, so it would mean the world if you subscribe, and I promise to do the best to make the best videos I possibly can. I'm Visual Venture and you are awesome. By the way, a big thanks to Rocket Money for sponsoring this video. Ghost Watch. In 1992, the BBC set out to make the scariest TV show ever. Their plan was simple but deeply twisted. It was in 2 steps. Step 1, create a ghost story that looked completely real. Step 2, make viewers believe that the ghost could reach through the screen and attack anyone watching at home. They didn't just want to scare people. They wanted viewers to feel haunted, as if watching the show cursed them. This is the story of how they pulled it off, and how that broadcast caused so much panic that it was banned from ever airing again. The show was called Ghost Watch. In the weeks before it aired, the BBC promoted it as a live investigation into a haunted house. Here's what they told viewers. A single mother in North London believed her home was haunted. The woman claimed that she and her 2 daughters were being tormented by a violent ghost. To uncover the truth, the BBC promised to send a team of reporters to spend the night inside the home. Their cameras would be rolling the entire time. Every noise, every shadow, every scream would be broadcast live. If a ghost really really was there, millions of people would see it happen in real time. That was the setup, and the audience bought every word of it. But behind the scenes, the entire thing was fake. The haunted house was a studio set. The woman and her 2 daughters were actors, and the ghost didn't exist. But viewers didn't know that. They thought they were about to witness a real ghost filmed on live television. Ghostwatch aired on Halloween night 1992. Millions across the UK tuned in. From the first scene, it looked like a real news broadcast.
No creaking gates, no Gothic towers, no shutter windows. Yet for the past 10 months, this house has been the focus of an astonishing barrage of supernatural activity.
To make it more convincing, they interviewed the family living inside.
Confrontations, of course, with the supernatural can be devastatingly real. Let's find out what effect they've had on Mrs. Early and her family.
The woman and her daughters sounded scared and desperate.
It's wrecked my house, my home, my family.
After hearing their story, the reporters promised to capture the ghost on camera. For almost 40 minutes, nothing strange happened. Everyone was just waiting. Then it started. The clocks stopped, the temperature dropped, and loud banging came from inside the walls. Remember guys, millions were watching live. Most believed that a real ghost was inside that home. But the BBC wasn't done yet. They wanted to make viewers think that the ghost could crawl through their TV and torment them in their homes. Here's how they did it. The hosts said viewers were calling in from across the country. These callers claimed strange things were happening in their homes while they watched.
We're getting all sorts of calls. In Derby, someone was ringing to say that her clock had stopped. Ken and Joyce Shrivener from Telford in Shropshire, their radio has gone dead.
Of course, none of it was true. No one was actually calling in to say they were haunted, but the audience didn't know that. People across the UK believed that Ghostwatch was cursed, and that simply watching the show was letting the ghost into their homes. Some panicked and turned off their TVs. Others kept watching. But things were about to spiral completely out of control. As the night went on, things in Ghostwatch got worse. Objects started flying across the room.
There are incredible noises coming from the walls and from the ceiling.
The cameraman suddenly collapsed. Then one of the daughters started speaking in a deep voice like she was possessed. Even the presenter began acting strangely. He was mumbling nonsense as if he wasn't in his right mind. Then, when things were the most chaotic, the broadcast ended. Within minutes, panic spread across Britain. The BBC received 30,000 angry calls about Ghostwatch. The phone lines even jammed. Parents said their children were crying. Others believed their homes were haunted. Some even said they could see ghosts in their bedrooms. Ghostwatch became the first case of PTSD caused by a television program. To calm the public, the BBC admitted Ghostwatch wasn't real. There was no haunting, no ghost, and no danger. Viewers felt tricked and betrayed. The next morning, the story was all over the newspapers. The authorities accused the BBC of deliberately trying to cultivate a sense of menace. Ghostwatch was banned. It never aired on public television again. But Ghostwatch didn't stay buried. Years later, it was quietly released on DVD. Since then, it's become a cult classic. Ghostwatch showed us how easy it is to miss what's really happening. Just like it's easy to miss when you've been charged for a subscription you thought you canceled 6 months ago. Well, today's sponsor, Rocket Money, is here to help. Rocket Money is an all-in-one personal finance app that helps you cancel subscriptions, lower bills, and manage your money better. Growing up, my parents always taught me how to be responsible with money. And even now that you guys help support me financially through this channel, I am very careful about how I spend. And Rocket Money makes this so much easier. A big thing you can lose track of are subscriptions. I always found extra monthly subscriptions I wasn't even using. Once you connect your bank account, Rocket Money identifies all your subscriptions in a single list. From there, you can select the ones you don't want anymore, and Rocket Money may be able to help you cancel with just a few taps. In fact, they've helped people save over $880 million in canceled subscriptions. But of course, it's not just about subscriptions. One thing that my parents taught me is to never spend more money than what you have, and budgeting allows me to do that. With Rocket Money, you can create a custom budget in seconds. The app shows you where your money is going at all times and tells you what you're spending the most money on and provides you insights on how to stay within your budget. My friends, I encourage you guys to take control of your finances today, because the way you take care of money is the way you take care of everything else. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to get started for free. Cooked with cannabis. In 2020, Netflix released a new reality show about food. At first, nobody thought much about it. It was just another cooking competition. But one country saw it differently. To them, that show was a crime, and they did everything to make sure their citizens could never watch it. That show was named Cooked with Cannabis. For YouTube's sake, we'll call it Cooked with Grass. The concept was straightforward. 3 chefs stepped into the kitchen to compete. Each had to make their best 3-course meal. At the end, a panel of judges chose a winner. That winner walked away with $10,000. But there was one rule that made it unlike any other cooking show. Every meal had to include grass.
Each episode, 3 expert cannabis chefs will prepare a 3-course cannabis-infused menu that will put their culinary skills to the ultimate test.
The creators said it wasn't about promoting anything illegal. They simply wanted to take away the stigma around grass.
It's really difficult to dismantle years of misconceptions and stigmas about marijuana.
They wanted to prove that grass could be a legitimate cooking ingredient, not just a taboo topic. And in many ways, it succeeded. Chefs used grass in sauces, desserts, and main dishes. Judges scored them on creativity, taste, and presentation. Cooked with Cannabis premiered on Netflix in April 2020, and reviews were quite positive. Rotten Tomatoes gave it an 86%. Some viewers liked it so much they begged Netflix to make at least 10 seasons, but not everyone was impressed. The show appeared in the Netflix streaming library for millions of Singaporeans. When the Singaporean government saw it, they were furious. Because in Singapore, grass isn't just controversial, it's one of the most serious crimes a person can commit. Singapore has some of the toughest substance laws in the world, and the punishments are severe. Carrying even the smallest amount of grass can lead to years in prison. Being caught with more than 1.1 pounds can mean the death penalty. These laws are strictly enforced.
If you get caught with a set amount of drugs, you get hanged.
Since 2022, Singapore has ended 15 people for substance-related offenses. So when Cooked with Cannabis appeared on Netflix Singapore, it was more than controversial. It was encouraging people to break the law. The Singaporean government banned it immediately. They contacted Netflix and demanded that the show be taken down. Netflix agreed. Within days, the show vanished from Singapore's streaming library. After that, the government made a clear rule. Any show that promoted substances, even indirectly, would be banned in Singapore. This next story was so messy that the network was fined millions of dollars. Aqua Teen Hunger Force. Most shows get banned because of their content. This one was banned because of how it was promoted. The show was called Aqua Teen Hunger Force. When it premiered in the early 2000s, it didn't look like anything else on TV. The stars of the show were 3 talking fast food items: a milkshake, a box of fries, and a meatball. They lived together and got into bizarre adventures. The stories rarely made sense, but that was a charm. Viewers loved how weird it was. Soon the show developed a small but loyal fan base. But the creators wanted more than that. They wanted everyone to know about the show, so they came up with a new marketing campaign. On paper, it sounded like a good idea, but it really wasn't. The marketing stunt caused such a mess that the police got involved. The campaign launched in early 2007. Normally, TV shows were promoted through commercials or billboards, but the team behind Aqua Teen Hunger Force wanted to advertise on the streets of Boston. Their idea was simple. They built glowing LED signs featuring alien characters from the show. The characters were called Mooninites.
We are the Mooninites, and our culture has advanced beyond all that you can possibly comprehend with 100% of your brain.
Each sign showed a Moonanite flipping people off with its middle finger. The creators thought fans would find it funny, and that others would be curious enough to ask what it was about. They installed 40 of these LED signs all over Boston, above shops, near bridges, and even along highways. They worked overnight trying to stay out of sight. They wanted people to wake up and see glowing Moonanites all over the city. But they made one stupid mistake. The signs didn't say what they were for. There was no title, no logo, no hint that it was an ad, just glowing circuit boards with wires sticking out. This is what they looked like. The next morning, people spotted the devices. They saw flashing lights, batteries, and tangled wires. To most people, it looked like a bomb. Someone called 911. Police rushed to the scene. They evacuated the area and destroyed one of the devices in a controlled explosion. But that was just the beginning. Reports poured in from across the city. Dozens of these strange devices were spotted under bridges, tunnels, and buildings. The city thought it was under attack.
Suspicious packages were discovered all over Boston.
Roads were closed, the Charles River was closed, and questions were asked about terrorism.
The entire city went into lockdown. For almost 8 hours, police and federal agents searched for more devices.
Boston police did shut down a bridge, several main roads, including an interstate, and stop boat traffic on the Charles.
Luckily, one of the officers happened to be a fan of Aqua Teen Hunger Force. He recognized the characters. He told his team these aren't bombs, they are Moonanites, just cartoon characters. The lockdown finally ended, and the fear subsided.
Dozens of electronic devices placed all around the city to promote the Cartoon Network show Aqua Teen Hunger Force, but they were mistaken to be bombs.
The panic was over, but the authorities had a new mission: find and punish those who caused this mess. Police quickly tracked down the 2 men who put up the signs. They were arrested and charged with disorderly conduct. But those men weren't the masterminds. They were just hired to install the signs. So the authorities went after the network itself. To settle the case, Adult Swim's parent company paid the city $2 million in damages. They also issued a formal public apology. The creators of Aqua Teen Hunger Force understood how much trouble they caused, but instead of showing regret, they tried to joke about it. They created a new episode titled Boston and made fun of the entire incident.
Turn on your tiny magnetic lights. That way, you look more like a device.
Network executives weren't amused. They banned the episode before it could ever air. For 8 years, the Boston episode stayed hidden. It was the only episode of the series that was never released. Then in 2015, someone leaked it online. Viewers were furious. Many felt it was disrespectful to joke about the mass panic. This next chapter proves that even the most innocent shows can sometimes go too far. Sesame Street. It's hard to imagine Sesame Street being disturbing. The show first aired in 1969, and it became a must-watch for children all over the world. Kids loved Big Bird, Elmo, and the other Muppets. But hidden in Sesame Street's history is one episode that almost ruined the show. It was titled Episode 847, and it aired in February 1976. The episode had a simple goal: teach kids about good manners. Producers wanted kids to learn that the best way to get something is by asking politely. But that message didn't go as planned. Instead of teaching kindness, episode 847 sent kids running from their TVs. The episode starts with a strange event. A broom falls from the sky. It lands in the hands of a boy named David. It turns out that the broom belongs to a witch, and she wants it back.
Have the broom until you can't. Let me have it. You can't have the broom until you show me a little respect. Oh, yes, I can.
Angry, the witch threatens to turn David into a basketball if he doesn't return it.
I'll turn you into a basketball. Bounce, bounce, bounce.
The threats don't work. Frustrated, she disappears.
I'll be back.
Later, she returns with a new plan. This time, she disguises herself as an old woman, and instead of yelling, she decides to ask nicely.
Please let me hold the broom.
Certainly.
And it works. She gets her broom back.
I got it, my broom, my broom.
That was supposed to be the lesson. If you want something, be polite. Don't threaten people. The producers thought they did a good job, but they were wrong. That episode was about to cause a meltdown. As soon as the episode aired, chaos followed. The network was flooded with calls from angry parents. They said their children were crying, refusing to finish the episode because the witch was too scary. Her green skin, cackling voice, and threats frightened kids. Some were so scared they refused to watch Sesame Street ever again. To fix the problem, the actress who played the witch appeared on TV as herself. She wanted children to see she was just a regular person pretending to be scary.
To know that you're a real lady who got dressed up to play this part.
There's your old friend, the Wicked Witch of the West.
But that didn't help. Parents continued to insist the episode was too frightening for children. So PBS pulled episode 847 from broadcast. It never aired on TV again. For decades, it was considered lost. But in 2022, someone leaked the full episode online. It's still floating around the internet. Anyone can find it with a quick search. This next show was connected to one of the worst tragedies in history: The Simpsons. Everyone knows The Simpsons. It's that cartoon that makes fun of everything. The show was designed to be a satirical depiction of American life. For over 30 years, it's poked fun at politics, celebrities, and pop culture. But in 1997, a few jokes backfired, and the public reaction was so intense that an entire episode had to be buried. The episode was called The City of New York versus Homer Simpson. It aired in September 1997 during the show's 9th season. The story began with Homer losing his car. After searching for months, he gave up and decided to build a new one himself.
Homer, I don't want you driving around in a car you built yourself.
One day, Homer received a letter from the authorities.
Dear motorist, your vehicle is illegally parked in the borough of Manhattan.
My vehicle! His missing car was sitting in New York City the whole time. Determined to get it back, Homer boarded a bus to Manhattan. But when he arrived at the big city, things became very frustrating. His car was clamped and buried under parking tickets.
What the hell is this thing? Come off!
The city drove him mad. The traffic, the crowds, the noise.
Hey! When you're done with that, I got something up here you can bite on! And why don't you be polite?
Everything was loud, chaotic, and overwhelming.
Sorry about that, guy. They stick all the jerks in Tower 1. That's it! I'm coming over there! Yeah, why don't you come over here? I got something for you! Shut up, the both of you!
Frustrated, Homer got into his car and drove away with the clamp still attached. The episode was a parody of city life. They wanted to make fun of how stressful New York could be. Viewers laughed, and for 4 years, it was just another funny Simpson episode. But a few years later, those jokes suddenly didn't seem funny anymore. On September 11th, 2001, tragedy struck New York. The Twin Towers collapsed. Thousands of lives were lost. In the weeks that followed, people turned to familiar shows for comfort. But when fans rewatched that episode from The Simpsons, they noticed something unsettling. There were small details that reminded them of the tragedy.
We could all go with the bus company's special Super Sitter fare.
In one scene, a brochure showed the price $9 next to an image of the Twin Towers. Together, it looked like 9/11. And throughout the episode, Homer's car was parked between the towers. There was also a short argument between two men, one yelling from Tower 1 and the other from Tower 2. Before the tragedy, those lines were just jokes about city life. After the tragedy, they felt disturbing. Conspiracy theorists went crazy. They claimed The Simpsons predicted 9/11. The rumors grew so fast that the network had to step in. Out of respect for the victims and their families, Fox pulled the episode. It was removed from syndication so no other network could air it again. For years, the city of New York versus Homer Simpson vanished. But in 2006, it quietly returned to television. But it wasn't the same. Every shot of the towers was cut out. Every joke that could be linked to the tragedy was removed. The original version was never screened again in its original form. Up next is one of the most beloved shows of all time, but somehow it still got banned. Star Trek: The Original Series. There's a reason so many people love Star Trek. It wasn't just about spaceships or aliens. The show told deep stories about people, choices, and humanity. But one episode didn't go as planned. It was titled Miri. It was one of the show's most creative stories. However, that episode disturbed viewers so much that the network banned it. Miri aired in 1966 during the first season of Star Trek. It started like any other mission. The crew detected a mysterious signal coming from deep space.
Earth-style distress signal. SOS.
I've answered it on all frequencies, sir. They don't reply.
Not a vessel, a ground source.
Captain Kirk sent a small team to investigate. When they landed, they couldn't believe what they saw. The planet looked exactly like Earth, but something was wrong. The streets were empty, the buildings were abandoned, and when the team finally met the locals, the mystery deepened. The planet was full of children. There were no adults anywhere. Captain Kirk and his team tried to figure out why. That's when they met a girl named Miri, and she told them the truth about the planet's past. 300 years earlier, scientists on that planet wanted to stop people from aging. They created a virus that was supposed to make people live forever. But the experiment went horribly wrong. It worked on children, but it was lethal for adults. Every adult was wiped out, leaving only children behind. Meanwhile, the kids stopped aging and stayed young for centuries. They lived without parents, schools, or anyone to care for them.
Children who never age. Eternal childhood filled with play. No responsibilities. It's almost like a dream.
Captain Kirk decided to help them. Thanks to the captain, a team of adults was sent to help the kids rebuild the society. Miri ended on a hopeful note, but not everyone saw it that way. When Miri aired in the United States, most people liked it. But in December 1970, it aired in the United Kingdom, and the reaction was far from positive. British audiences felt the story was too dark. They saw children trapped in a desperate world with no adults, scared, confused, and fighting to survive. British regulators received a flood of complaints. complaints. Viewers said the episode wasn't family friendly. The authorities reviewed it themselves, and their conclusion wasn't positive. The report said Miri dealt most unpleasantly with the already unpleasant subjects of madness, sadism, and disease. The episode was banned from British television. For 20 years, viewers never saw it again. But the ban didn't last forever. In the early 1990s, the ban was finally lifted, and all episodes of Star Trek, including Miri, aired on cable television. TV shows can inspire audiences, but this next one taught viewers a dangerous lesson. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. If you grew up in the 1990s, you probably remember Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. It was about teenagers who transformed into superheroes to defend Earth from alien monsters, and it was my personal favorite.
It's quite simple, my dear. This planet is under attack, and I have brought you here to save it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Kids were obsessed. They copied every kick and punch from the show, but parents were concerned. They thought the show made violence look fun. Some even wrote angry letters demanded it be taken off the air, but producers stood their ground. They said Power Rangers taught teamwork and bravery. They insisted kids knew it was just pretend, but soon a tragedy proved them wrong. In October 1994, 3 kids in Norway were playing after school. 2 of them pretended to be Power Rangers. They tried reenacting fight scenes from the show, but things got out of hand. By the time it was over, one of the kids passed away. It was a national tragedy. Parents blamed Power Rangers. They said it encouraged dangerous behavior, and this tragedy was their proof. Within days, the backlash spread around the world.
The Canadian Broadcast Standards Council says the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is too violent and it wants it off the air.
Norway, Sweden, Denmark, and New Zealand all banned the show. In Canada, it stayed on air, but the fight scenes were cut out. The bans lasted for years. Eventually, the show returned, but only after the creators agreed to tone down the violence in later versions. This next show was designed to be shocking. It's no wonder that they crossed a line. Fear Factor. In 2001, Fear Factor shook the world of reality TV. The show's concept was so extreme that even the host couldn't believe it.
This is the most insane idea for a television show I've ever heard. This is going to be canceled immediately.
Each episode featured ordinary people facing their worst fears for a chance to win $50,000. One week, contestants jumped off skyscrapers. The next, they were buried alive. And sometimes they ate things too disgusting to describe.
I'm Joe Rogan. This is Fear Factor. The stunts you're about to see were all designed and supervised by trained professionals. They are extremely dangerous and should not be attempted by anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Fear Factor became a cultural phenomenon. Millions tuned in every week. But over time, viewers got used to the stunts. The shock value faded and the ratings dropped. Eventually, the show went off the air. Then in 2011, producers brought it all back. They wanted the new season to push the limits of what people could handle. But what they created was so disturbing, it got Fear Factor banned. The episode was titled Hee Haw, Hee Haw. It started with the host explaining the rules.
To stare fear in the eye, compete for $50,000. Now to win the money, you're gonna have to complete 3 extreme stunts. Stunts that'll not only test you physically, but mentally as well.
The first stunt was tough but doable. Contestants walked across a platform lined with electrified wires. Each step sent small shocks through their body. Then came the second stunt. That's what caused all the trouble. Contestants were given large jugs of mystery liquid. At first, they thought it was some strange protein shake. Then the host revealed the truth. It came from a donkey. Everyone on set was horrified. Even the camera crew got sick. The episode was filmed, edited, and submitted for approval. But when network executives saw it, they were disgusted. They felt this was too much for TV. The episode was banned immediately. It never aired on television, not even once. But that wasn't the end of the controversy. A few months later, one of the contestants spoke out about the Hee Haw challenge on a podcast.
Oh, it smells. It's so bitter. It's the biggest thing you can ever imagine, and it has, a little hint of hay.
Around the same time, the episode leaked online. People finally saw the challenge, and almost all the reactions were negative. One viewer wrote, "This is not even a fear anymore. This is literally sick." The backlash was massive. A few months later, NBC canceled Fear Factor. Many believe the Hee Haw scandal was the reason. To this day, that episode has never been officially released, but the leaked clips are still on YouTube. It's a disturbing reminder of how far reality TV once went for shock value. Videos have the power to entertain, to educate, to inspire, but they also have the power to harm. And these shows are proof that entertainment without limits can cause damage. So my friends, choose what you watch wisely. Visual Venture. Wait, before you guys go, I have a 1 hour and 45 minute long video talking about media banned for being too controversial. I talk about everything from movies to documentaries to games to even YouTube videos and channels that were all banned for being too controversial, all in one video. Click here to watch it. Love you guys. Peace.
It's one of the most controversial reality shows of all time.
I think maybe the biggest thing that I don't like about this show is that it seems to manipulate the contestants.
It's upsetting in a lot of ways. What this producer and all the people who worked for him did to this poor guy.
I don't know what your values are, but certainly this show does not fit in any set of values.
Most reality shows are about singing, cooking, or dancing, but others were created just to shock or disgust viewers. Some of these shows were so bad, viewers sued the network for airing them. Today, we're diving into the worst. We'll look at TV's most disturbing reality shows, starting from the least to the most shocking. So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality. And in order for me to do that, we gotta keep Visual Venture growing. So 75% of you guys aren't subscribed, and it would mean the world to me if you did. And I promise to give you more fire content. I'm Visual Venture. You are awesome. MILF Manor. Google MILF Manor and you'll see headlines like MILF Manor is the worst thing I watched this year. MILF Manor is a show that should not exist and everyone involved is going straight to hell. And people might have not been overreacting. Their biggest problem was the show's insane concept. MILF Manor was a dating show that premiered in January 2023. It followed 8 women in their 40s and 50s who wanted to date younger men. So the producers handpicked a group of guys who seemed like perfect matches.
Please head to the house where you will meet the new men in your life. Let's go!
But as soon as the guys walked out, the show took a disgusting turn.
Woo!
That's my mom right there.
These weren't just random young men. They were the contestants' own sons. They were the sons of the older women. That meant that every son had to watch his mother flirt, kiss, and date right in front of him. And the moms had to watch their sons do the same.
I knew my son Gabriel was going to be in Mexico with me. I thought he was going to be on a separate dating retreat, but he's in my dating pool.
But that was just the beginning. Instead of giving everyone separate rooms, the producer forced each mother and son to share a bedroom. So if a mom wanted alone time with one of the other guys, she had to kick her son out. Viewers were horrified, calling the show demented and weird. However, for the mothers and sons on the show, the experience was worse. By the second episode, one of the sons was left legitimately traumatized after finding out what his mother did. The producers needed to keep the show exciting, so in every episode, contestants were forced into awkward challenges. In episode 2, they had to guess each other's inappropriate secrets. That meant that sons had to sit there and listen to their mom's bedroom experiences and vice versa. Obviously, it did not end well. During the challenge, one of the moms confessed to doing something with her son's best friend.
Okay, my secret is I with your best friend.
The son was speechless. He later told the show producers that he felt traumatized by the savage news.
This is something I never saw coming. I did not expect this at all, 0%.
That scene went viral and got everyone talking. Someone tweeted the pain in his face when his mom reveals her secret. MILF Manor is going to ruin these families. But instead of hurting the show, the negative publicity helped it grow. Soon, MILF Manor was one of the most popular shows of 2023. It was a train wreck, impossible to watch, yet impossible to look away from. This tweet said it best: MILF Manor being the single most demented, sick, and twisted television show put in television in the past 20 years. OMG, I will be seated for every episode. The first season, which aired on TLC, accumulated more than 45 million views. But people weren't watching because they liked MILF Manor. They watched just to complain.
It seems to be unanimously the most twisted and show I've ever seen.
But the backlash didn't stop the producers from releasing MILF Manor Season 2 in 2024. This time, the single women were pursued by younger men and their fathers. Still weird, but in a different way. MILF Manor has a 14% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. And although it hasn't been confirmed, there's a chance MILF Manor Season 3 is already in the works. The show was a train wreck, but the worst part, these women had no control over their privacy. And that's not just a reality TV problem, it is an internet problem. problem. Data brokers sell our personal information without us even knowing. You could go to any data broker website right now and buy anyone's data for a few bucks. I don't know why, but it is completely legal. I've literally been a victim of this. My personal information was floating around on the internet, and when people found it, it turned into a terrible situation. So I tried removing my data from every site that sold it, but after long hours, I only deleted like 5% of my personal information online. That's where today's sponsor, Aura, comes in. They scan data broker websites to find out where your information is being sold without spending hours. And watch, after a few weeks, you'll notice less spam. But most importantly, when you search yourself up, you'll stop seeing your private information online. Aura also monitors the dark web and alerts you if your data has been leaked. And if someone tries to open credit or bank accounts in your name, they let you know instantly. And in the very worst case scenario, they provide up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. Aura even includes a VPN with over 100 virtual locations for even more privacy. You guys, I genuinely recommend going to my link aura.com/VV to try 14 days for free, because that'll be enough time for Aura to find out if any of your personal data is exposed. If I did this earlier, it would have saved me a ton of time and money. Everyone knew this next show would cause chaos because it involved kids, but the producers went ahead and made it anyway. Kid Nation. In 1954, someone wrote a book about kids trying to survive without adults. It was called Lord of the Flies. In the story, a bunch of kids decided to create their own society on an island. But before long, everything falls apart. Tempers flare, they turn on each other, and their society descends into chaos. So everyone was shocked when CBS announced a reality show about kids building their own society. They called it Kid Nation. And no surprise, it was a complete disaster.
Welcome to Kid Nation.
Kid Nation was filmed in an empty town in New Mexico. 40 of America's smartest children were dropped off and told to run the town for 40 days. There were no adults to help them, just a camera crew who stayed out of the way. The kids were between the ages of 8 to 15.
Imagine a world with no adults. Just 40 kids with a chance to build their own society.
Our work is cut out for us.
City kids, country kids, rich, poor, and everything in between.
At first, it felt like an adventure. The kids were in charge, making their own rules. But then, everything started to go wrong. The problem started on day 1. As soon as they arrived, the kids were given their first physical challenge: haul all of their food and supplies to the abandoned town in the middle of the desert heat. But that was just the tip of the iceberg.
I'm not gonna be with my parents, there's no adults, and I think I'm gonna die out here because there's nothing.
When it was bedtime, they were given paper-thin, dirty mattress pads to sleep on. Food wasn't any better. They were only given canned goods and dried beans and had to learn how to prepare their own meals.
Well, when we first started planning for dinner, I realized that a lot of us haven't done anything like this before.
Then there was the issue of medical care. With no parents around, they were left to treat their own injuries. Medics were on standby, but they only stepped in when things got really bad. With each passing day, Kid Nation got more chaotic. Kids ate with their hands because there were no clean dishes. Fights broke out, and someone was always complaining about something.
I don't see any food. No food. It looks like all our laundry and all our water is frozen in.
But instead of stopping the show, producers just recorded the chaos. And then the police arrived to shut it all down. A few weeks into filming, New Mexico officials received an anonymous complaint about the conditions at Kid Nation. When inspectors showed up to investigate, they were turned away several times. Eventually, the show's producer were able to get law enforcement to back off. So, the mayhem continued.
I think the town definitely really needs some law and order because the people are just doing whatever they want, whenever they want.
The kids formed their own government by electing a town council, but all it did was create new problems and fights.
I find that really funny that you say you were nice to everybody on day 1. You treat me like I'm not gonna treat you good.
The show lasted 6 weeks, but if things got too intense, any child could choose to go home. So 3 kids quit before the show officially ended. Kid Nation finally aired on CBS in September 2007. and it caused an uproar. Viewers weren't just shocked, they accused the show of breaking the law. Child safety advocates accused the show of violating child labor laws. But the network saw this coming and made sure they were protected. CBS defended Kid Nation, claiming the set was more like a summer camp rather than a place of employment. Before filming, they also had the kids' parents sign a 22-page waiver giving up all rights to sue. Still, viewers complained that this show was too reckless and that contestants could have been seriously hurt. The backlash was so intense that CBS never made a second season. This next show took the idea of beauty and pushed it way too far. The Swan. What happens when you mix plastic surgery and beauty pageants? You get this horrible show. The Swan was a reality show where women got plastic surgery to compete in a beauty pageant, and every step of the process was recorded for the world to see. But what aired on TV was so unsettling, it was called the most sadistic reality series of the decade. Each episode began with the show selecting women they called ugly ducklings.
I've got hair, I feel completely unbearably disgusted with myself.
For 3 months, these women went through an extreme makeover with a team that included a personal trainer, therapist, dentist, and cosmetic surgeons. But the biggest part of their transformation involved plastic surgery.
Women went under the knife for dramatic transformations, going from ugly ducklings, that's the phrase the show used, to beautiful swans.
Contestants got new noses, cheek implants, lip injections, and other jobs, all done at the same time. It wasn't fun. Contestants were pressured into surgeries they didn't want. One woman was scolded by one of the plastic surgeons for refusing a nose job. Another woman felt mounting pressure from the show to continue getting more work done to her body. But things didn't get any easier after the surgeries either. For 3 months, contestants were completely isolated from their friends and family, only allowed brief phone calls each week. But the strangest part was that they weren't allowed to literally see themselves. Every mirror they came across was covered. On top of that, they endured intense workouts, strict diets, and therapy sessions. If they didn't keep up, the coaches would tear into them. One contestant was harshly scolded just for ordering cream cheese. It was a complete emotional shock. At the end of the 3 months, their final transformation was revealed. It was like going to bed and waking up looking like a different person.
No way. Oh my God.
But the show wasn't over yet. Each season, 9 contestants were chosen to move on to the Swan Beauty Pageant. Those who didn't qualify for the pageant were simply sent home with no further support. That was pretty cruel considering they just went through life-changing surgeries.
And the people that they bring on to the show to undergo all these procedures do have sometimes profound psychological issues that they need help to work through. And this is not something that you can do in a 2.5-month program.
Some contestants later said they struggled with depression after the show ended, but the show didn't care. They focused on the women who made it to the Swan pageant. And for those women, well, things didn't get any better for them either. Instead of celebrating each contestant's journey, the show turned their transformations into a competition, adding more pressure to an already stressful experience.
And we've been, relying on each other, and then all of a sudden they're going to pit us against each other, not by our choices.
The Swan pageant was a standard beauty contest with categories like evening gown, swimsuit, and lingerie. Whoever was considered the most transformed woman at the end was crowned the winner. The first season premiered in April 2004, and it was a hit, averaging 9.1 million viewers a week. Despite the high ratings, it also received a ton of negative comments.
The show stirred a major controversy, particularly over the ugly duckling crack.
Critics called it hurtful and repellent. Mental health experts said it promoted dangerous beauty standards.
But the whole setup and the people standing back there, it seems so contrived and fake that I just don't like it.
Even plastic surgeons spoke out, saying it was risky to put contestants through so many surgeries in such a short time. After 2 seasons of non-stop criticism, The Swan was canceled. But as time passed, its reputation only got worse. Entertainment Weekly ranked it the worst reality television show ever produced. This next show wasn't just deemed disturbing by the public. I think we can all agree that the premise itself was meant to be as shocking as possible. My Strange Addiction. Every episode of My Strange Addiction was either tragic, creepy, or shocking, sometimes all three. The show traveled across the country searching for people with the strangest addictions imaginable. The producers didn't want common struggles like gambling or substance use. They wanted addictions that would shock viewers to the core. And for 6 seasons, My Strange Addiction delivered exactly that, showcasing the strangest addictions ever seen on TV. One of the most unforgettable episodes followed a woman named Cassie. She recently lost her husband, and in her grief, she became addicted to eating his ashes.
First, I lick my finger, and I don't just dip it in. I swirl around to kind of feel and get it caked on there good. And then I just eat it.
Then there was Nathaniel, who was in a romantic relationship with his car. He kissed the car, took it on dates, and even got intimate with it.
Love you, baby. It was love at first sight. His body and then his interior and everything just together just seemed to fit. And I just felt an instant connection.
Some addictions were more about appearances. One man spent thousands of dollars on surgery to look like a celebrity.
Some people buy fancy cars or fancy mansions, and what I do with my money is I get surgery to look more like Justin Bieber.
Then there was a woman who ate beds, literally.
My name is Jennifer, and I'm addicted to eating mattresses.
Some of these addictions weren't just strange, they were dangerous. A woman named Lori couldn't fall asleep without her blow dryer turned on next to her. Firefighters warned her it was a serious fire hazard, but she couldn't stop.
She, one night, turned on this blow dryer, and the sound of it, the warmth of it, just instantly put me to sleep. And from that night forward, I was hooked.
The show quickly became a hit. With each episode, the addictions got stranger and more shocking. But then, one addiction was so bizarre that viewers started to wonder if the entire show was fake. In season 3, episode 27, a woman appeared on the show with a not-so-safe craving.
My name is Shannon, I'm 20 years old, and I'm addicted to drinking gasoline.
This episode was so outrageous it made people start asking questions. A Quora user wrote, "Can someone actually drink gasoline daily without ending? I just can't believe she's walking and talking normally. This has to be fake, right?" That person wasn't alone. On Reddit, there was a whole conversation about if the show was fake. I mean, how could someone eat a mattress and not end up in the hospital? And that led to an even bigger question. If these addictions were real, was the show actually helping anyone, or just using their struggles for entertainment? Most shows about addiction try to help people recover. My Strange Addiction didn't. It just filmed their struggles and moved on. The show pretended to care. Toward the end of the show, a therapist is usually brought in to assess the addiction and advise on the best course of action for the individuals to take. But most of the time, the therapist's advice wasn't helpful. One critic said it best: "Afflictions are fascinating, but too much time is spent gawking at their odd behavior as opposed to treating it. Only in the final moments do therapists pay a visit, and they oversimplified things by suggesting exercise and journaling." After 6 seasons, My Strange Addiction ended in 2015. Till today, clips from the show still go viral, but no one can answer the biggest question: were the addictions on the show real, or was the entire show one big scam? This next show was built on a foundation of lies and deception. Scare Tactics. From 2003 to 2013, Scare Tactics aired 114 episodes, and in every single one, the goal was the same: to terrify people like never before.
Welcome to Scare Tactics, where the cameras are hidden and people's everyday fears are exposed.
It was a hidden camera show that lured people into terrifying situations. They thought they were being hunted by monsters, abducted by aliens, or haunted by ghosts. And it was their own friends and family that set them up. Each episode began with a setup.
Well, I wanted to set up Ryan tonight on Scare Tactics because he always thinks he is so big and bad, and I just wanted to prove to everyone once and for all, he's not as hardcore as he always thinks that he is.
The show went all out, using actors, costumes, and special effects to make everything feel real. The prank always started with something normal, like a job interview or a car ride. Then suddenly things took a terrifying turn.
No, I have nothing to do with it.
You want my formula? You want my formula?
And just when the victim was about to lose it, the actors dropped the iconic line, "You're on Scare Tactics."
Because you're on Scare Tactics.
Are you serious? Your boyfriend Matt set you up.
One of the worst pranks involved a rat monster experiment. The person being set up was hired as an assistant in a mysterious lab. Everything seemed fine until one of the experiments escaped.
There's like a little monster man running around in here. What was it?
Most viewers thought it was hilarious. Some felt the show was going too far with their scares. And then one day, Scare Tactics scared someone so much she sued the show. In March 2002, Scare Tactics picked their next target, Cara Blanc, a grade school teacher. With help from her friends, they lured Cara to an isolated location. Then out of nowhere, an actor in an alien costume jumped out. Cara panicked. The alien chased her everywhere. At the last second, the actors revealed it was all fake. Everyone else laughed, but Cara wasn't amused. She was furious and she wanted payback. Cara sued the show, claiming that she had to be hospitalized for physical injuries as well as severe emotional distress. She also asked the court to stop her episode from ever airing. In the end, Scare Tactics paid Cara a low 7-figure sum and her episode was never shown. Since then, more people have complained about the show, raising points like, what if someone had a medical condition? What if they fought back and hurt the actors? But everyone was usually always fine in the end. Even the ones who cried usually laughed when they realized it was all fake. So far, there's been 5 seasons of Scare Tactics, and in October 2024, it was revived for a 6th season.
Laugh it up. You could be next.
I admit, I used to watch this next show back in the day, and I'm surprised it wasn't canceled. Fear Factor. Fear Factor made people face their worst fears for a chance to win $50,000 US. But these weren't ordinary fears, they were extreme.
You're gonna climb that 110-foot tower, you will walk to the edge of the platform, and you will leap from the edge, grab a hold of that cargo net. You'll be jumping twice your body length.
Even the host, Joe Rogan, thought something bad could have happened because the stunts were so risky. Luckily, no one got seriously hurt. Still, a lot of terrible things happened because of Fear Factor. Fear Factor premiered on NBC in June 2001, right when reality TV was starting to take off. NBC wanted a show so wild, so extreme that no one could ignore it. So they created Fear Factor. In each episode, 6 contestants faced 3 scary challenges. If the contestant was too afraid to complete a stunt, they were eliminated. If they failed a stunt, they were eliminated. Before the stunts even started, contestants had to sign a waiver. The waiver stated that no matter what happened, injury or worse, contestants couldn't sue the show. They signed and the madness began.
I'm Joe Rogan. This is Fear Factor. The stunts you're about to see were all designed and supervised by trained professionals. They are extremely dangerous and should not be attempted by anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Each episode started with a crazy physical challenge. Contestants had to do things like hang upside down over 100 feet in the air. The second challenge always involved something disgusting, and the final stunt was the toughest. It combined fear and physical endurance. Every challenge was intense, but what really made Fear Factor famous were the disgusting challenges. No one was prepared for how wild they were.
Extremely nervous because I know it's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be terrifying.
In one episode, contestants had to eat sheep eyes. The camera zoomed in, capturing every gag and chew, but they were just getting started.
Come on, harness my man up. Give him a helmet.
Baby, let's go.
Let's do it. Put a helmet on him.
We have people fly cars across a train, a moving train. Okay, there's risk involved in that, right?
Contestants could back out of a challenge anytime. No one was forcing them, but most refused to quit. However, only one person could win the $50,000 prize. Because of these extreme challenges, Joe Rogan expected the series to be canceled after just a few episodes, but he was wrong. Fear Factor was a massive hit. The first 4 seasons were so popular that it became the first network reality show to be syndicated, which means that it aired on other television networks. The show also made Joe Rogan a household name. Then it finally happened. Fear Factor was sued for an episode that went too far. In January 2005, a 49-year-old man watched an episode where contestants drank blended rats. He was so disgusted that he felt dizzy and lightheaded. In his confusion, he ran into a doorway. He blamed Fear Factor for his injury and sued them for $2.5 million. He said he sued to send a message to NBC and other networks about their programming. However, his case didn't go far. A judge dismissed the lawsuit, calling it frivolous. By the 5th season, viewers were losing interest in Fear Factor. Ratings were dropping. More people criticized the challenges. By 2006, NBC had enough. Fear Factor was canceled after the 6th season. But the show refused to die. In 2009, 2011, NBC brought it back, but it was canceled again after one season. Then in 2017, Fear Factor returned on MTV, but it lasted only 2 seasons before getting canceled again. No reality show has punished contestants as much as this next show. Susunnu Denpa Shonen. Reality shows are supposed to be fun, but Susunnu Denpa Shonen was more like torture. And I am not exaggerating. It was literally described as this. The whole point was to push people to their breaking point. Every season, new contestants were thrown into extreme challenges to see how long they would last before breaking down. Meanwhile, millions of viewers watched from home entertained. The show ran from 1998 to 2002, and every season was brutal, but season 1 was the worst. The first season aired in January 1998. It was called Denpa Shonen: A Life in Prizes. The contestant was a 22-year-old man nicknamed Nasubi. The producers wanted someone desperate for fame, someone willing to take on a mysterious challenge without asking too many questions. Nasubi was perfect. He was an unknown comedian trying to make it big. When producers offered him the opportunity to be on TV, he figured it was his big break. Since it was a new show, the producers explained the rules to Nasubi. He would be locked in a tiny apartment without furniture or appliances. He would have no food, no clothing, and no contact with the outside world. His only way to survive would be by entering magazine sweepstakes and winning prizes. He would basically enter contests where he had a chance to win prizes, but there's a catch. The prizes are completely random. You could enter a sweepstake hoping to win a car, but instead you might win a box of ramen noodles. You never know what you're going to get. That was Nasubi's reality. If he won food, he could eat. If he didn't, he went hungry. If he won clothes, he could wear them. Producers told Nasubi he would be released once he won 1 million yen worth of prizes. That was equivalent to around $8,000 at the time. They also promised the footage wouldn't be streamed live. Instead, they would record everything, edit it down, and turn it into a television special. But that was a lie. It was like a real-life Truman Show. It was broadcasted live.
Unbeknownst to him, the show was broadcast weekly across Japan to more than 15 million viewers.
Nasubi thought he was signing up for a challenge. Instead, he became the subject of a twisted social experiment. Nasubi expected to win 1 million yen in prizes in a couple of days. Then he would be released. But days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months, and he wasn't winning much. Viewers watched as Nasubi filled countless sweepstake entry forms, celebrating with a dance each time he won a prize. Unfortunately, most of his prizes were bizarre or useless in his situation, like a tent too large to unfold in his room or a bicycle without any space to ride. He barely won food. He sometimes went days without eating, and when Nasubi finally won a piece of meat, he was overjoyed.
肉をボールペンに刺して炙り始めた。5分後。美味しそう。
He also had no human interaction, so he talked to himself and the camera. After a couple of months, it seemed Nasubi was slowly losing his mind. All this time, he had no idea that 15 million viewers around Japan were watching his every move. Nasubi knew the door was open and that he could leave if he wanted to, but he kept going, determined to reach his goal.
At first, I was excited, and I was thinking about all kinds of things, like how to do something funny in this space. After about a week, I began to worry about whether I could really continue this on my own.
It took Nasubi 15 months to win enough prizes to be set free. 15 months of isolation and hardship. Nasubi's story is the most infamous, but other contestants went through extreme challenges too. In one season, 2 men had to hitchhike all the way from South Africa to Norway. In another, contestants were stranded on a desert island and told to build a raft to escape. These weren't just challenges, they were life or death situations disguised as entertainment. Despite the cruelty, Susunnu Denpa Shonen was a hit in Japan. Viewers loved watching it. But over time, people started to condemn the show. It felt morally wrong to push people to their limits just for entertainment.
It's upsetting in a lot of ways. What this producer and all the people who worked for him did to this poor guy.
The show finally ended in 2002, but it's considered the ultimate example of how far a reality show will go for attention. Some reality shows take things way too far, and I believe that entertainment should never come at the expense of someone's well-being, because when the cameras turn off, the damage stays. visual venture. If you guys like this video, you guys would probably like my video, Documentaries Banned for Being Too Disturbing, right here. Thank you guys for everything. Peace.